This place got a new face, killing Joe's face. Got a Joe thing, chilling in a new fade. Blue space in a new place, what did he say? He done tic-tac, feeling like a true play. Step back and I never say no. I was winning over there, now I'm running out of flow. Got a feeling in the air, but I'm feeling kinda low. Got a ceiling over here and I think it's gonna blow. Hey, this place got a new face, killing Joe's face.
Oh, yeah. What is good, everybody? It is Aquarian OG. You should get to know me. I have no tune in these headphones and no music playing. I'm singing off of hypeness. Yo, we hit the 200 mark. We crossed over 200. 200. You know how long I thought I was going to have to... You know how long I thought it was going to take me to hit the 200 mark compared to how long I had to... You know, from 100 to 200 was not what I thought it was going to be. That's what I'm trying to say. Y'all got me at a loss for words. I'm like trying to spit it out, but it ain't happening. Yo. In the meantime and in between time, what you watching? I remember before what you watching was what you watching. It was, what was I trying to... I was calling it whoa videos. I was doing like reaction videos that was trying to find stuff to make you say whoa. But I don't watch a whole lot of stuff that has anything to do with ghosts. So you run out of whoa. I ain't really too much into ghost stories, you know. That stuff can, yeah, that's some craziness. Today, for this video, we got part 3 of Americans living abroad. When did you realize America messed you up? Part 1 and 2 was pretty good. They had the theme going of our healthcare sucks. Yeah, can vouch for that. And the workforce is overworked. That was a big one. And I want to say police popped up a few times. No, matter of fact, guns. Guns was a big one. People knowing gunfire and yada, yada, yada. I mean, including myself, I can identify, you know, roundabout caliber. I can tell a 9mm from a 45. That's crazy. When you say that out loud and then you hear yourself say that and you know other people are like, that's freaking crazy. Then you're like, yeah, that kind of is. Kind of got problems there. All right, y'all. We are going to get right into it. Open Sesame, the monitor, and the play button are on. Let's go. If you haven't liked, subscribed, commented, we're going around looking at countries too. Yo, another thing I want to add to the list is looking at like just areas, like a walking tour or whatever, you know, something like, you know, just taking a gander. Because I like watching the one for Japan that has some music going with it. But I want to like walk with somebody who's like talking about the area and stuff like that. I saw something on, what was that? Latvia. It was pretty interesting. I was like, yeah, I got to check out more of these. All right, let's go.
I'm currently living abroad. What is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up?
Oh my gosh, such a great question. I have so many. The one that sticks out in my mind right now is the first time I celebrated the 4th of July and the Kiwis were like, oh, happy 4th of July. And I'm like, yeah, suckers. We broke away from the Queen a long time ago and we have freedom and blah, blah, blah. And they were like, hold on. What freedoms don't we have? And why is it bad that other countries work together to protect each other and help each other? And America's always talking about freedom and what freedoms do you have that we don't have? And I was like, hold up. All this rhetoric that I was told my whole life, the land of the free, we need to fight for our
Everybody
freedom,
got the
and
same
it's such
stuff,
a
and some
value
of
in
theirs
the
is better.
American society. And when you think about how many countries are just as free,
Yeah.
where does this freedom value come from?
Yeah.
I mean, it came back from the Revolutionary War, but hello, there's a lot of countries that are free. It was eye-opening.
American currently living abroad. What is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up?
That's that narrow-mindedness that foreigners always hit Americans with. I'm not narrow-minded. I've seen a lot of stuff out and around the world. I'm like not lived in a shell. But most of mine has been through like animals and stuff. Like I can tell you where animals I can tell you, yeah, I'm good with animals. But yeah, so like the different nuances in the cultures, I really kind of like started getting into that because I like watching The Amazing Race. That's like one of my favorite shows to watch. Well, before the COVID thing, I don't know what's gonna happen after COVID. But all right.
Did y'all know that in other countries, they can go to the pharmacy and actually get what they need?
Yeah.
I live in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia right now, and
Oh,
I
Ethiopia.
went to the
Damn.
pharmacist and I was like, "Hi, I think I kind of have like a UTI. Like, do you have any pain medicine, any cranberry?" And she's like, "Why don't I just give you antibiotic?" And I was like, then I go back and I'm like, "Hi, I'm going to South Africa next week, like on safari. Like, any good, mosquito repellent?" And she's like, "Girl, you want anti-malarials?" And then I get
Anti-malarials.
rolled with it,
Damn.
right? I go in there, on another occasion, and I'm like, "I'm back, I'm waiting for my birth
She all
control license to come
bashful.
from the U.S. Like, it's taken a while, prescriptions and doctors and all that." And she literally threw the birth control at me. Amazing.
An American currently living abroad, what is one time that made you realize
The
that
healthcare is
America
a big one.
really messed you
Just one? If this tells you anything, I was only supposed to be abroad for a year. I'm on year 10.
Hey.
Yeah. Essentially, what I learned was me living, traveling, and working around the world was easier and cheaper than me just living in the US.
I've been investigating that too. I discovered the same thing. I'm just setting up things here so, you ain't got to worry about nothing. Me and the wife is trying to get out of here and go look around. That's a definite. First place guy goes to the UK. We got to hit Wales. Got some homies over there. Got to see them first. You got to check out the homies on that priority first. They get the priority. So I got a couple friends over there. And then, shit. Got me looking at Sweden, Norway, and Finland. That little part of the little cluster islands up there, man. I was looking at some of like the landscapes. I watched this channel on Pluto. It's a free TV. I don't know if you get it out there. It's called Pluto. There's a channel on there where it's just a train. You're just sitting in the front seat of a train, like the conductor view of a train, and you go through like snowy hills and mountains and all this other stuff. Man, some of the scenery y'all got over there, gorgeous. Straight gorgeous. I got to come see some of that in person. That's my bucket list, is travel. That's what I want to turn this YouTube thing into, is traveling. Because, man, there is a lot to do. We got things to do.
So why would I go back to the US
Right.
to live and spend more when I can travel and live in other countries?
That's how I'm thinking.
Spend less.
That's how I'm thinking.
Make it make sense.
It don't. That's why I
time that
want to
made you
leave.
realize that America really messed you up?
So I spent about 4 years in Berlin, Germany, working in advertising, and
Yo, I was looking at Germany. Y'all got some shit up there that's off the hook. Man. Yeah, I'm digging Germany too. And the wife is part German. I'm digging Germany. Hell yeah. You be hearing this and that about Germany, but that's because we got old ass fucking politicians that's still sitting in the seats. That we should have some new thinking in, and some new. We need to go socialist, honestly, because this capitalism stuff is just going. Man, this capitalism is tough. I mean, there's advantages to all kind of this and that, but really though, we need it got to go to the people. We got to start making unions. We need work unions. We need to knock down some of this power from these billionaires, because these mofos is out of hand. They just this war that's going on is just a spoiled ass billionaire wanting his. This is bullshit. It's just, this war is bull stuff. I mean, it's ruining the rest of the stuff for everybody. He's just fucking it up for everybody. Like, who was that? D.L. Hughley used to say that. You're just fucking it up for everybody. It's a damn shame. I would have liked to check the Ukraine out. I don't know if we're going to be able to go there now. Ukraine was on my damn list. As far as like wanting to see, I want to check out all that kind of Eastern Europe and check out all the different foods and stuff. Because, yo, some of the best food I ever tasted that I never expected to taste was Bosnian food. Oh my God. I had this meat grill platter from this Bosnian place. Oh my God. It was wholly delicious. And the bread that came with it, I was smacking off the bread. It got to the point where they used to know me by my order because I always order 2 loaves of bread. Man. Oh, and they got this spicy tripe soup. Smacking. It's also called menudo for like Mexican restaurants. You can find it under menudo, same type of flavor. Every time I order it, they wonder if I know what I'm ordering. They're like, you know what they're ordering? I'm like, yeah, I know it's tripe. Yeah, come on. Give me the good shit. Give me the good shit. All right, let's get back to this. I was talking for a minute. I was just kind of like reminiscing off of places, and y'all got me just happy though, because I'm like, this it's actually a positive. When you start seeing the cog wheel of success. Sorry, I'm talking again, but I gotta get this out. The cog of success of what you've been churning at, because I've been doing this over a year. Actually, I think I might be close to 2 on this channel. But when it actually starts to work, and you're actually like, okay, all right, this actually can turn into a thing. Okay.
And coming from New York, where my first 8 years in
New
the
York
industry,
expensive.
you don't take vacation. You just don't really do that. Well, I had to have a sit down with the CEO of my company and the head of HR, where they took my laptop and took my work phone and told me I could not come back to the office for 3 weeks because I had to use my vacation time. They were afraid that I was going to sue the company for not being allowed to take my vacation time. So they made sure that I literally could not work. Imagine that happening in the U.S. Someone literally taking your
this was
computer
not
and
in the
your phone
US?
away and say, go, come back in 3 weeks, enjoy your vacation.
Damn.
Honestly, Europe has a lot going for it that I wish Americans would understand.
What is one time
I
that made you
understand.
realize that America really messed you up?
I was working as a teacher in South Korea, and a lot of students actually have these little box cutters to cut stuff. I was kind of concerned that these were allowed in school because I was scared that people were going to stab each other.
What is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up?
So just for a little context, I live in Latvia now, but when this happened to me,
Latvia. I was just talking about that.
was working in the UK as a bartender. And my coworkers and I were talking about gun violence in the US, and they were kind of making jokes like, oh, I'm surprised you graduated and you didn't get shot first, and stuff like that.
Right.
And I guess I was trying to defend it, so I was saying, it's not as bad as the news makes it seem. I only know one school that had an active shooter and had to go into lockdown, and for me, I only had one gun threat in high school, and it was just a threat, and one when I was in elementary school. And then my coworkers kind of looked at me like,
yeah. What?
You what? And you think that's normal? And I was like...
She hit that accent, though.
Yeah. It's not even that bad.
You're an American.
The accent, she nailed that one.
One time that made you realize that America really messed.
I'm a U.S. citizen currently living in Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, I heard it's nice down there.
About the use of the word American, since the Americas are continents. Anyway, I have so many examples of how the U.S. fucked me up, specifically Florida. We got to Costa Rica the second week in November.
Florida.
Obviously still deep in the throes in the U.S. with COVID. And coming from Florida where there's so many anti-maskers and COVID deniers, it was surreal to go to these establishments here where everyone's following the Ministry of Health's rules. There's hand washing stations outside of every establishment. There are people taking your temperature to go into grocery stores and certain restaurants. People are giving you distance. Everyone is compliant with masks. And I found myself so defensively postured, ready to argue because I had gotten into so many arguments in Florida with anti-maskers and COVID deniers. It's amazing when people don't politicize a virus.
American currently living abroad, what is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up?
2008 or 9, 20 years old, Munich, Germany. City passes the vibe check, no doubt, but I didn't have anyone with me. And I'm trying to get cigarettes from a machine, my ID doesn't work. Cop shouts from across the street, he's on his way to me. Hey, you, sir, is there anything I can help you with? And immediately no, I'm sorry, don't worry about it, I'm getting out of here anyway. And I keep it moving, and he's like, no, hey, you. And I keep it pushing, like, hey, you? Nah, get the fuck out of here. And the next cop stops me, and I immediately drop everything that's in my hands as I take my hands out of my pockets so I don't get shot. And so he ends up buying me a pack of cigarettes, bringing me to the nearest bar.
Because she was nervous
to
to the
me that they go
moment.
to 4 years of college to do this, get paid $50,000 a year more than our cops. And
Damn.
bought me a drink.
What is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up?
When I lived in Paris, my period changed because there wasn't as much hormones in the food. If you live abroad for any length of time, your period will also become different over time and revert.
Did you have to wear red while you... I wasn't ready. I get it, but I wasn't ready. But did you have to wear red while you made this? You couldn't have wore like blue, or you had to pick red, didn't you? It had to be red. I am just dead. Damn, girl.
When you return.
American currently living abroad, what is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up?
So for me, it was a few different times while I was living in Australia. One time,
Oh,
with
Australia
the
in the house.
that we have here in the States, my boss came to me and he was like, "Are you okay? How are you feeling? Do you need some time off?" And I was like, "Why?" And he was like, "Because I heard about the shooting that happened back in the States." I had to sit there and have an honest moment with myself and him to realize that I had built up a numbness to all the shootings because they happen all the time.
Nah.
Number 2, I have horrific cramps. I always have. They make me pass out. I throw up. I've been in the emergency room I don't know how many times at this point. It's just how it's been.
Are we going there again? Uh-oh.
I fought against it, but I finally had my roommate take me to the emergency room, and
Right.
my total was $100 when I left. As someone who was only on a working holiday visa and not a $2,000 bill like it would have been in the States.
I gotta find out how to get some paperwork to stay over someplace long term. Like, maybe a month or 2. Maybe 3 tops. Yeah, 3, because 3 is my favorite number. I gotta look into the paperwork for that.
And currently living abroad, what is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up?
I first started school and asked them when we have our first training for school shootings, and they asked me, "What is that?" I walked.
Why? See, I ain't been to school in a long time, so that's irregular to me too. But it's like a regular thing to have school training, school shooter training.
Into a supermarket, and I was confused as to why there weren't any guns on the shelves. When I went on a walk with my friends and they wanted to walk over someone's farm because it was a shortcut, and I said I didn't want to go because I was afraid of getting shot, and they looked at me like I was crazy. Farmer. When I saw police cars driving up and I realized that nobody besides me was scared shitless. When I watch political talk shows and they're actually having a conversation and discussing an actual topic instead of talking over each other and insulting each other. When I noticed that over here nudity and sexual expression was seen as natural and normal while violence is talked down upon, when in the States violence is everywhere and nudity and sexuality are taboo.
If you're an American currently living abroad, what is one time that made you realize that America really...
Oh, man.
She's like, cut, I gotta start right now.
So many stories. As you may know, I'm an American living in Italy, and there have been so many...
Oh, Italy. Hell yeah. Every time I hear Italy, I think home. That and West Africa. I've traced my blood to both areas because I have grandparents that were Italian too, so we got a little mix. Apparently, there was a big migration over there sometime way back, and they migrated over here and came up from through the south. I'm guessing that they ended up in the slave trade because the family path comes from those two spots and comes up through the south. Me and my mom have tracked it for like a long time. Like this is years of research. We have pictures of old family members and stuff. It's pretty cool. Their like facial expressions are really stoic. You know how they do with the flash, what you call it, the flash trays for the old timey pictures. Is like that area. I mean era, not area.
Many times I'm thinking, oh my god, America is so messed up.
Yeah.
Most recently is when I gave birth to.
Man, the food over in Italy. I heard the pizza is a whole nother caliber.
To my daughter. So I decided to give birth to my daughter here in Italy, and basically before you give birth, they recommend that you meet up with an anesthesiologist. Even if you don't want the epidural beforehand, they recommend you do so just in case like an emergency, you really want one, or etc. So I didn't even end up getting the epidural, but I had to pay for the meeting, and I'm thinking, oh no, how much is this meeting gonna cost? It was...
Did she say comunque? Did I hear something? Did she say comunque? What the hell is that?
30 euros.
Comunque?
30 euros is the equivalent of maybe, let's say, like $40. And also, too, I stayed in the hospital for 3 days, got completely taken care of, and I didn't pay a
$40?
cent. A cent.
American currently living abroad, what is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up?
So I'm an American, and I live in Norway right now.
Oh, Norway. What up, Norway? What you watching?
Going to help my friend with this project that she had, and this girl was still in high school. And so she was like, yeah, just come to my high school. You can help me out, yada, yada, yada. I was like, great.
Look at a ceiling. I wonder what's...
Where do I have to sign in when I get there? Do I need to wear a visitor's badge? Who do I talk to? What should I tell the front desk lady? She was like...
Is that typical? Sorry. Is that typical to have artwork on the ceiling in Norway? Because I know the buildings, the structure looked badass. I'm like, yeah, I want to check that out.
What are you talking about? Just walk in and I'll meet you at my classroom. And my mind was blown. I was like, I can just walk into your school? Like, no. Aren't they going to call the police? Aren't they going to send out an intruder alert? Like, I can't just walk into your high school and just walk straight to your classroom. No. Then I realized just how messed up it is that American high schoolers are like security prisons.
Yeah.
American currently living abroad.
They're made by prisons. We just found that out.
That America really messed you up.
So I live in Romania, and I feel like the most astonishing thing to me when I moved here was how easy it is to find someone to go out with, to go out and have drinks with, to go out and have dinner with. Any given day, somebody wants to go out. Whereas in the US, I feel like we're all so stressed out and miserable that we just want to stay home.
This is true.
If you're an American currently living abroad, what is one time that made you realize that America really...
So I live in Estonia now. And
Estonia. There's a lot of women on here. Like, is it like mostly women that left? Is there a trend going on that I just noticed?
The first year that I moved here, it was around the beginning of December, and I remember hearing like gunshots, like
that wasn't gunshots.
Really loud gunshots, like, and a lot of them. So me being from Brooklyn, I immediately think that there's some crazy shootout going on outside. So I go and I look out the window, and sure enough, it's fireworks.
Brooklyn in the house.
Fireworks are kind of sort of illegal in New York City, so I was used to just automatically assuming that it was gunshots.
Well, you are from Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's kind of when I realized that America's kind of messed up.
What is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up?
So when I was a teenager, I went out of the country one time to go on vacation to the Bahamas, and we were staying at this resort, and...
I've been to the Bahamas. Oh my God. Maury Povich sent me to the Bahamas. I got the video and that on here too. That was a good old time, boy.
Shit happened. I caught a virus that was going around the resort, and then I had an allergic reaction to the virus, and I couldn't really breathe. But the on-site paramedic had already left for the day, so the hotel concierge took us to the hospital in his van and just told us to call when we were ready to head back. So we go to the hospital, I get treated, and as we're leaving, my mom tries to give them her insurance card, and she's telling them, like, I'm so sorry, we've never been out of the country before, I don't know how to do this. They told her, like, oh no, you just keep that, we don't take insurance here. And the look on my mom's face was terrified.
Yeah, they
like,
just
oh my God, we're gonna have to sell our house, terrified. This was
Humane.
when they realized we were Americans, and they were like, oh no, don't panic, you must be American. We have universal health care here. You just need to pick up your medicine in the lobby, you're fine. The medicine was $8, and they gave me a note to give to the airline to get back into my own country.
What's a celebrity impression that you can do? I'll go first.
Kermit the Frog here. I don't have much time. Miss Piggy's kind of chasing me right now. I ran away from home. She said that she was gonna peg me. Pig me. She was gonna pig me, and I'm not really kind of into that stuff, you know. Oh, Kermit, where are you?
That's what's messing up. I don't know what's going on with that. I assume that that's the end of the video because the last ones had some tags that was at the end of it that made no sense. But yeah, I got to get out of here and go look around for a while. We need to dip out of here, go look around. Yeah, it would be Wales first. It depends on what was going on with all that Russia stuff. If he decided to stop at the Ukrainian borders and then just chill there, or if this motherfucker he gonna get power hungry and decide to keep moving. Man. And sliding Biden, I don't know what's going on with that. Then you got all kind of whatnot going on. It's just a crazy time these days. Anyway, yeah. I'm gonna work on some painting projects later on tonight. But till then, if you haven't subbed or hit that like button or commented or whatever you want to do, go ahead and do so. We're gonna be chilling till then. I'm Aquarian OG. And this is the end. Nice. New stuff, you know. All right, y'all. Deuces on the flips. Thank y'all, but I got a dip.